Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're really getting into the weeds with C2 English vocabulary.
Yeah, and our goal isn't just, listing hard words.
Right.
It's about unlocking real communication power, making every word count like a precision tool.
So you can go from just being understood to being genuinely impactful, that intellectual polish we talked about.
Exactly. Because at the C2 level, you're basically bridging that gap between being a very good learner and, well, a near native user.
And that matters hugely, right? For academics, tricky professional chats, or even just speaking more elegantly, this kind of vocabulary is, frankly, essential.
Think of them like finely tuned parts in an engine. They give you clarity, persuasive power, the ability to express really subtle ideas. Mastering these sharpens everything, your fluency, your command. It gives you access to more precise ways of thinking about things.
So if you're prepping for something like the C2 proficiency exam, or you want to write academic papers that really land, or just get that native-like nuance.
This is foundational. It lets you say exactly what you mean. No vagueness, just precision and impact.
Okay, so today, it's not just definitions. We're digging into the why these words matter and how you can actually use them to transform your communication.
Yep, practical application, where they shine, how they add that polish.
All right, let's dive in. First up, words for grasping nuance and precision. Because at this level, sometimes one word does the job of a whole sentence.
Exactly right. They cut through the fog, ensure clarity. They're like scalpels for meaning, not just blunt instruments.
Okay, first one, aberration. A-B-E-R-A-T-I-O-N. Definition. A departure from what is normal, usual, or expected. Like the test results showed an aberration.
That the researchers couldn't ignore, yeah.
Yeah.
And the key thing here, compared to just odd or unusual,
Yeah.
is the significance. An aberration isn't just a little quirk. It often implies something that stands out so much it demands attention, maybe even challenges the whole pattern.
So it's like a red flag in the data.
Precisely. Especially in science or stats. It suggests a deviation that's potentially problematic or, fundamentally questions what you thought was normal. Spotting one can even lead to new discoveries.
Because it forces you to ask, why is this so different? Makes sense. Okay, what about things that are just really hard to understand?
Huh.
We have abstruse, A-D-S-T-R-U-S-E.
Right, abstruse, meaning difficult to understand, obscure, like that professor whose lectures were so abstruse they were incomprehensible.
This word feels heavier than just difficult.
It is. It suggests a deep, almost deliberate complexity, something that resists casual understanding because it's so dense or specialized.
Okay.
Think quantum physics, really complex philosophy, things that need a lot of background knowledge. The Latin root even means to thrust away, like it's pushed away from common understanding.
A linguistic maze. Got it. And then there's allude, A-L-O-U-D-E.
Yeah.
To hint at indirectly. For example, he alluded to past struggles without giving detail.
Yeah, and its power is all in the subtlety. You're not stating it outright. You're referencing it gently, indirectly. It assumes the listener can pick up on it, maybe share some context. It's sophisticated.
So it kind of invites the listener in, makes them part of the meaning making.
Exactly, like an inside joke almost. Very useful in diplomacy, writing, or even just conversations where you want to be delicate or nuanced. It respects your audience.
Okay, great start. Now let's shift gears. Words for painting vivid pictures of people, their traits, actions, interactions.
Yeah, moving beyond just nice or angry. These words capture the essence of character and behavior with more precision.
They help define not just what people do, but how they do it, maybe even why, building a richer picture.
First one is acrimonious. A-C-R-I-M-N-I-O-U-S, bitter or angry in tone, like their divorce was an acrimonious battle.
Okay, so more than just angry. What's the extra layer here?
It implies a sharp, cutting bitterness, often from long conflict, deep resentment. It describes interactions that are really fundamentally unpleasant, leaving a bad taste. Think acrimonious negotiations where you can just feel the hostility. It makes finding solutions incredibly hard.
So it's not for a quick flare-up. It's sustained, deep-seated bad feeling.
Exactly. Harsh words, blame, maybe personal attacks instead of logic. The Latin root relates to a sharp or bitter taste, which fits perfectly.
Okay, next, alacrity. A-L-A-C-R-I-T-Y. Brisk and cheerful readiness. Example, she accepted the invitation with alacrity. What does this add that quickly or eagerly doesn't?
It combines them, but adds cheerfulness. It's speed plus genuine willingness plus a positive, visible enthusiasm.
Ah.
It's not just prompt, It's this light-footed, almost joyful approach. You see the eagerness.
Like a kid running for ice cream. So in a work context, someone tackling a project with alacrity shows great motivation, a really positive attitude.
Precisely. It's quick, willing, and cheerful readiness. A very positive quality.
Then we have altruistic, altruistic, selflessly concerned for others. Like his altruistic nature led him to work in charities. This feels quite profound.
It is. It emphasizes pure selflessness. Actions motivated only by concern for others, with zero expectation of personal gain, reward, or recognition.
So it's not just being generous, it's the motivation that counts.
Absolutely. You wouldn't call donating for a tax break altruistic. This is reserved for things like, risking your life for a stranger or dedicating your life to humanitarian work, often involving real personal sacrifice.
It connects to high moral standards, deep empathy, prioritizing others' welfare way above your own.
Right. It completely transcends self-interest. It's that deep commitment to the common good.
Okay, moving to assiduous, ASSIDUAUS, showing great care and perseverance. Example, she was assiduous in her studies, never missing anything. What does this capture beyond diligent?
It adds a layer of meticulousness and sustained dedication. It's consistent, careful, painstaking effort over time, really attentive to detail.
So thoroughness born from real commitment, very relevant for demanding tasks.
Hugely relevant. An assiduous person isn't just hardworking. They're incredibly thorough, unwavering, key for high standards.
Like an assiduous researcher checking every single source.
Exactly, or an assiduous editor going over every word. It's about refusing to cut corners, that deep commitment to doing it right.
And the last one in this group, boisterous. BOISTEROUS. Noisy, energetic, and cheerful. Example, the boisterous crowd cheered their team. What kind of vibe does this word give off?
Lively, unrestrained energy. It's not just loud, it's vibrant, full of spirit, often suggesting joyous, uninhibited noise and activity, especially from a group.
Like a big party or excited kids playing?
Yeah, common for crowds, gatherings. It captures that sense of joyful uproar. The noise isn't negative, it reflects enthusiasm, good cheer, animated, full of life.
So it's about the spirit behind the noise, not just the volume.
Precisely, that unbridled, audible exuberance creating a vibrant atmosphere.
Okay, we've talked people, now let's talk stuff. Situations, places, abstract ideas, words that help us describe the world more precisely.
Yeah, these really boost your descriptive power. They let you articulate qualities that might otherwise stay fuzzy or vague. Essential tools.
First is cacophony. CACOPHONY, a harsh, discordant mixture of sounds. Example, the construction site was a cacophony of drilling and hammering.
And shouting, yes. And it's much more than just loud noise.
How so?
Cacophony emphasizes the jarring, unpleasant, disorganized quality. It's an auditory assault, a collision of sounds that don't belong together, disharmonious clatter.
Okay, so sensory overload through sound, and you mentioned it can be used metaphorically.
Absolutely. A cacophony of ideas in a chaotic meeting, any clashing, grating mixture. The Greek roots mean bad sound, basically. The opposite of harmony, or euphony.
Got it. Next, deleterious. DELETERIOUS, causing harm or damage. Example, the deleterious effects of smoking are well documented. This sounds quite formal.
It is formal, and it implies significant, often long-term harm. It suggests something that erodes or degrades over time, not just bad for you, but actively, demonstrably harmful, often with compounding effects.
So it carries more weight than just harmful.
Definitely. Used a lot in scientific, medical, legal contexts. Think deleterious effects of pollution on ecosystems or the deleterious impact of bad policies. It often implies a slow, insidious harm that undermines well-being.
Okay, now for something completely different. Diaphanous. DIAPHANOUS. Light, delicate, and translucent, like a diaphanous gown. This one paints a picture.
It really does. It's much more evocative than thin or see-through. It suggests an ethereal, almost mystical quality. So fine and sheer, light passes through, dreamy, delicate.
Extreme fineness and fragility.
Yeah. Often used poetically for fabrics, but also insect wings, morning mist, things with that extreme lightness and transparency. It suggests elegance, ethereal beauty.
Like those incredibly thin clouds or butterfly wings. It hints at what's beyond, making it more evocative than just transparent, appreciating the subtle, the transient.
Beautifully put. Okay, now for a strong one. Egregious. EGREGIOUS. Outstandingly bad. Shocking. Example, the company's egregious disregard for safety. You mentioned this packs a punch. Is it ever too much?
That's a good question. Because it's so strong, outstandingly, shockingly bad, it implies a level of moral outrage. It's not just a mistake. It's a flagrant, noticeable, unignorable wrong.
So it's really for major violations or offenses?
Exactly. Something that stands out in a really negative way, demands attention, often severe condemnation. You wouldn't call a typo egregious.
Right.
It's for things like an egregious abuse of power, a truly shocking error in judgment, a serious violation. It often carried that sense of willful negligence, crossing a major line, conspicuously, shockingly bad.
Okay, understood. Let's move into words for things that are complex, unknown, or just plain hard to figure out. Intellectual puzzles, mysteries.
Yes, these are crucial when you're talking about things that defy easy explanation, that push our understanding, conveying mystery or deep difficulty.
First is enigma, E-N-I-G-M-A, a person, thing, or situation that is mysterious or difficult to understand. Example, the plane's disappearance remains an enigma. What makes it an enigma versus just a puzzle?
It suggests a profound mystery. Something perplexing, unsolved, that really teases the mind because it's so hard to penetrate. It captivates and frustrates.
And it often implies it might stay mysterious.
Exactly. Unlike a puzzle you expect to solve, an enigma might never be fully understood. Think unsolved cases, historical mysteries, or even people with inscrutable motives, like the Mona Lisa's smile. It invites endless speculation.
Okay. Next. Esoteric. E-S-O-T-E-R-I-C. Intended for or likely to be understood by only a few people with specialized knowledge, like an esoteric lecture few could grasp. This really highlights exclusivity.
It does. It implies knowledge that's kind of secret, confined to initiates. You need a special key, specific training, or background to unlock it.
So niche academic fields, very specialized jargon.
Or even certain cultural practices. It suggests a depth that acts as a barrier to outsiders. Basic math isn't esoteric, but maybe advanced number theory is. It creates a sense of privileged insight for those in the know.
Right. And the last one here, conundrum. C-O-N-U-N-D-R-U-M. A confusing and difficult problem or question. Example, solving this math problem was a conundrum. How's this different from just a problem?
A conundrum is specifically a tricky problem. One that isn't straightforward, needs creative thinking, maybe a different angle. It often has a paradoxical element, like a riddle.
The paradoxical quality, where different parts seem to contradict.
Exactly, making a simple solution elusive. Think of big societal conundrums like balancing the economy and environment, or a moral dilemma with no good outcome. It's a really knotty intellectual challenge.
Okay, let's switch focus again. Words describing effect or perception, how things impact others, or how they're seen.
Right. These are key for analyzing processes, outcomes, influence, getting beyond just what happened to how it landed or was received.
First is debunk, D-E-B-U-N-K, to expose the falseness of. Example, scientists debunk the myth with solid evidence. This feels very active, very decisive.
It is. It's about disproving something, usually a widely held belief or myth, using evidence and reason. A conclusive refutation, stripping away the illusion, crucial for critical thinking.
So it's about systematically dismantling false claims.
Yes, using facts, logic, separating facts from fiction. Think urban legends being debunked or pseudoscientific claims being exposed. It's not just disagreeing, it's proving something false, often publicly.
Okay. Then we have disparage, D-I-S-P-A-R-A-G-E, to regard or represent as being of little worth. Example, the critics' review disparaged the movie. What's the feeling behind this word?
It's strongly negative. It's about belittling, devaluing something or someone, often unfairly or contemptuously, a deliberate act to diminish reputation or value.
So the intent is often to undermine.
Often, yes. It's not just criticism. It's making something seem insignificant, unworthy. Has real implications for how things are perceived. You might disparage a rival's work or feel disparaged by a dismissive review. It's disrespectful, damaging.
Right. Now for harangue. H-A-R-A-N-G-U-E. A lengthy and aggressive speech. Example, the politician's harangue got mixed reactions. This sounds intense.
Very. It's not just a long speech. It's forceful, often accusatory, maybe a tirade. Delivered with passion, often intended to criticize, berate, or aggressively persuade. Little room for reply.
So confrontational by nature.
Often, yes. Designed to admonish or push a viewpoint without dialogue. Think of a coach giving a harangue to a losing team or an activist delivering a fiery speech. It's one-sided, overbearing, meant to dominate, loud, long, uncomfortable.
Okay. And if someone wants to make things less clear, we have obfuscate. O-B-F-U-S-C-A-T-E. To make unclear or unintelligible. Example, bureaucratic jargon served to obfuscate the issue.
What's the key here versus just being confusing?
The key is often intent. Obfuscate suggests a deliberate effort to obscure understanding, to make things more complicated or vague, maybe to hide something, clouding clarity on purpose.
Ah, the deliberate aspect linked to transparency issues. Exactly. Using complex language, too much detail, misleading statements, avoiding direct answers, all ways to obfuscate, like governments or companies obfuscating records, deliberately making things foggy, keeping people in the dark.
Got it. Okay, let's delve into our inner worlds. Words for internal states, feelings, appearances.
Yes, these are great for expressing complex emotional nuances, exploring the human experience more deeply, a sophisticated palette for our inner landscape.
First, apathetic. APATHETIC. Showing no interest or emotion. Example, students were apathetic about the elections. What's the weight of this word?
It implies a significant lack of feeling, concern, or enthusiasm.
All right.
More than just disinterested, it's a deep indifference, an absence of passion or engagement, a real disconnection.
And it can have wider implications, right? Socially or psychologically.
Definitely. Widespread apathy can signal lack of civic engagement, disillusionment, detachment, can hinder collective action. Think of an apathetic electorate, or even a patient showing no will to recover. It's a pervasive lack of care where care seems warranted.
Okay. Then apprehensive. APPREHENSIV. Fearful about the future. Example, she was apprehensive about moving. How is this different from just worried or anxious?
Good question. Apprehensive implies unease or dread about something specific to come. It's not outright terror, but that worrying anticipation of difficulty or an uncertain outcome, that nervous feeling before something happens.
So it's focused on the future anticipation, not an immediate threat.
Exactly. Worry can be general, fear is often immediate, but apprehension is that cautious nervousness preceding a specific event, an exam, a move, a difficult conversation, being on edge about what might happen.
Makes sense. Now for equanimity, EQUANIMITY, calmness and composure, especially in difficult situations. Example, the surgeon maintained her equanimity. This sounds like a superpower.
It kind of is. It highlights remarkable steadfastness, mental balance under pressure, staying undisturbed, composed, rational when things are chaotic or stressful, keeping a level head.
Hugely important in high-stakes roles.
Absolutely. Leadership, emergency services. Equanimity is that ability to stay emotionally balanced, to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively. Deep inner resilience, self-control, like that crisis negotiator. Staying calm, a quiet strength.
Very valued trait. Okay, next. Ineffable. INEFFABLE. Too great or extreme to be expressed in words. Like, the beauty of the landscape was ineffable. How is this different from just indescribable?
It's subtly different. Indescribable might just mean you lack the words. Ineffable suggests the experience itself transcends language. It's on a plane beyond verbal expression, touching something too deep or sublime for words.
Ah, so the limitation is in language itself, not just the speaker.
Exactly. Often used for profound spiritual moments, overwhelming beauty, intense emotions. It reminds us language has limits, often linked to the sublime, the sacred. Think that sudden, profound realization or overwhelming love may be ineffable.
Powerful. Okay, inscrutable. INSCRUTABLE. Difficult to understand or interpret. Example, the politician's motives were inscrutable. This emphasizes impenetrability.
Yes, something so mysterious or enigmatic, its meaning or intention just can't be deciphered. No matter how closely you look, it resists being solved.
Useful for analyzing complex characters or situations.
Very. Especially where motives are hidden or ambiguous. An inscrutable expression, an inscrutable policy. It presents a barrier to understanding, stubbornly maintaining its mystery. Fascinating, or maybe frustrating. Key for the enigmatic.
And finally here, ambivalent. AMBIVLENT. Having mixed or contradictory feelings. Example, she felt ambivalent about the job offer. How is this more precise than unsure?
It specifically highlights holding simultaneous conflicting feelings, that internal push-pull, being torn between two opposing emotions or opinions at the same time.
So it captures that complexity of human experience, things rarely being black and white.
Exactly. We often grapple with positive and negative aspects together, feeling ambivalent about new tech, benefits versus drawbacks, or leaving home, extreme versus sadness. It precisely nails that nuanced contradictory state, especially during decision-making.
Okay, great. Just a few more categories. Let's tackle words for quantifying, describing presence or time, moving beyond simple terms.
Yes, getting more refined about scale, prevalence, duration, more specific than just many or always.
First is myriad, MYRIAD, a countless or extremely large number. Example, the city had a myriad of restaurants. What's the impact of using myriad?
It conveys overwhelming abundance, a vast quantity without needing a specific number, an almost infinite array, a diverse multitude, much more evocative than just many.
So its power is in suggesting sheer vastness and variety.
Precisely. The impression of immensity is key. Think myriad stars, myriad challenges. It implies countless variety, adding an almost poetic touch to abundance.
Okay. Next, ubiquitous. ubiquitous. Present or found everywhere. Example, smartphones are ubiquitous. How does this go beyond common?
It emphasizes omnipresence. Something so widespread it seems to be everywhere, in every context, almost inescapable. Integrated into every aspect of life.
Pervasive presence, like it's permeated everything.
Exactly. Think plastic waste in the oceans, sadly, has become ubiquitous. Or the internet. It signifies that level of diffusion where something is truly everywhere, a defining feature of the landscape or era.
And the last in this group, ephemeral. ephemeral, lasting for a very short time. Example, the beauty of cherry blossoms is ephemeral.
What feeling does this evoke beyond just temporary?
It highlights the fleeting nature, the transience, but often with a sense of preciousness because it's so brief, delicate impermanence.
And while used poetically, right?
Very much so. For beauty, joy, life itself, things inherently short-lived, it reminds us of impermanence, makes us appreciate the brief moment, ephemeral happiness, ephemeral trends, beautiful but temporary.
Excellent. Final section. Words for debates, disagreements, opposing views. Essential for analyzing conflict and rhetoric.
Vital tools for dissecting arguments, articulating the nature of disagreement, the stance of opponents, the core differences between ideas, making analysis more refined. First, antithesis. ANTITHDSIS. The direct opposite of something. Example, his behavior was the antithesis of professionalism. What does this word really stress?
Stark, fundamental contrast. Not just different, but the complete inverse. Absolute opposition, creating a dramatic, irreconcilable juxtaposition, the ultimate counterpoint.
So it's for highlighting polar opposites.
Exactly. Concepts, behaviors, philosophies. Peace as the antithesis of war, freedom as the antithesis of oppression. It's more profound than just different. It's the exact contrary. It screams opposite, definitively.
Okay. And finally, intransigent. INTRANSIGENT. Unwilling to change one's views or agree. Example, the intransigent leader refused to compromise. How does this compare to just stubborn?
It implies extreme stubbornness, inflexibility, absolutely unwilling to budge, regardless of arguments or persuasion. Compromise is basically impossible. An unyielding stance, often bordering on unreasonable.
Strongly connected to deadlocks, maybe.
Very much so. Political deadlocks, rigid negotiation positions, signifies unshakable adherence to a view, often resisting reason. An intransigent party makes resolution nearly impossible, stubbornly rigid, refusing to bend, unmovable.
Wow. Okay, we've covered a lot of ground. Engaging with these C2 words is really a significant step towards more masterful English.
Absolutely. And as we've seen, this deep dive shows it's way beyond just memorizing. It's about thinking critically, communicating with nuance, expressing ideas confidently.
It helps build a stronger mental framework for language, finding that perfect word instinctively.
So for everyone listening, the takeaway is, don't just admire these words, use them.
Yes, actively incorporate them. Try them in writing, conversations. Look for them when you read. Interact with them. Reading, listening, writing, speaking. That's how they become natural.
Don't be afraid to experiment. Mastery comes from active engagement. And remember, it's not just knowing the words.
It's using them with elegance and purpose. Choosing the right word for the right moment to convey exactly what you mean, adding precision and impact.
Shaping your thoughts with the best tools available. Keep practicing, stay curious, explore the language. Every word opens new doors for thought and expression.
We really hope this deep dive has helped illuminate some of those paths for you.